Hi, my name is Catherine Went with Syscon, and thanks for taking a moment of your time. Today I have a handful of tips for our Sage 100 contractor users. So if that's not you, thanks for checking in. We'll catch you next time. For the rest of you, I have some quick tips, and more details are in the article that you'll find right below this video. So the first one is copy paste from Excel. So this is a favorite. Perhaps the estimator or the project manager come to you and say, here's my budget, and they give it to you in Excel. You don't want to type all that back in, so you might decide to copy paste the names or the columns or maybe the dollar amounts. Let's say that you've got to schedule values from the GC or someone who is deciding how that will look on your 702, 703 format. And again, you don't want to type it all in. It's right there. You could copy paste. Those are great time savers, but a couple words of caution. Make sure that the source Excel file doesn't have any formatting. So in the number fields, don't let it have the $sign thing in it. No formatting, just plain text. Then you can copy paste those back in. When other characters come in, it will fail. It will create some corruption. With your names, just make sure that you're not exceeding the length of the field that you're copying into. So be careful with that. Item number 2, going from one monitor to 2 monitors. So we get this call a lot, and especially since the pandemic, unfortunately, because people are used to having 2 monitors or more at work, and then they go home and they have 1. So what happens is Sage is not really good at noticing that it used to have 2 monitors available to it, and now you're at home and you only have the 1. So when you launch something, it brings it up on what it thinks is the second monitor, only you don't have a second monitor, so you can't see it. We do have some ways to fix that. Unfortunately, they're not beautiful, so our suggestion is, before you leave the office, bring everything back to your main monitor, shut everything down there. When you get home, you'll be able to launch it, and it'll know that it only had the 1 monitor. Item number 3, personal charges on a company credit card. We get this question a lot. Whether you're entering these credit cards into the 4.2 AP screen or into the credit card module, what do you do with them? So our suggestion is that you use an asset account, perhaps an employee loan account with sub-accounts by employee number, or name a specific asset account for this and set it up with sub-accounts. Book it down there as an asset, something owed to you. And then if they write you a check or they give you the cash and you put it in petty cash, you can go ahead and when you use the deposit screen, just go ahead and hit that same asset account with their sub-account, and it'll keep track of what's owed and what they've repaid. If you take it from payroll, then in the payroll screen after you've done the trial compute, go ahead and add a pay calc on the calculations tab to deduct that money, and just make sure that the credit account in that pay calc is pointing to that same asset account, and the box is checked to use the employee number as a sub-account. Quick, easy way, run the subsidiary ledger and you can see all the ins and outs by person, and you can print it and show them if you need to show them what's going on. The 4th one, job-related items the owner will reimburse. There are a couple of ways to do this, but the one that we have found seems to be the most obvious for the project managers running it and the easiest is when you have an item, let's just say a permit that they agree to pay for out of pocket, go ahead and expense it down to the job as you normally would. Make sure there's no budget amount for that. It will jump out at your project manager that you've got costs with no budget. Go ahead and provide the paperwork so you can get reimbursed. When you're reimbursed, use the same direct expense account and cost code to show that you were reimbursed the money. In your job costs, it'll show the in as the expense, the out as being reimbursed. You have a visual double check that they've paid you. You know that it's already been received. It's a great double check on that, so you can give that a try. Those are our tips and tricks for today for Sage 100 Contractor. If there are other ones you have questions about, would love to hear about that. Otherwise, thanks for your time and have a great rest of your week.